I'm going to do a little introductory. My name is Carlton Cartwright. I'm the Executive Director and Founder and CEO of the Children's Coalition Incorporated. We're here at the Veterans Affairs Medical Center in West Palm Beach, and the gentleman that we are interviewing right now, Herman, you want to move in a little bit?
Sure.
Can you move up a little bit? There we go. Right. Good. All right. And sir, what is your name?
HERMAN MCCRAY.
Okay. And Herman, were you drafted or enlisted?
I guess you could say enlisted draft.
Okay. And what branch of the service were you in?
Army, 101st Airborne Division.
Okay. And what is your birth date again, sir?
April the 2nd, 1941.
And your current address?
2315 Avenue S, Riviera Beach, Florida.
Okay. And let's see. You said you served. What was the time span you served?
From 1959 to 61.
Okay.
Beginning of the Berlin crisis.
Okay. And where were you when you enlisted or drafted?
I was in West Palm Beach, Florida.
West Palm Beach. Okay. And what were you doing at the time before you?
I just finished high school.
Okay. Where did you go to enlist, or to sign in?
West Palm Beach.
Okay. And where did you go for basic training?
Fort Jackson, South Carolina.
How long were you there?
I guess for my basic training, I left there and did my second aid in Fort Benning, Georgia. And from there, I went to Fort Campbell, Kentucky.
Can you tell me about your basic training?
Well, yes, it's just like all the rest of the basic training. They had, the rules, the regulations. They had their format for what should be going at a particular time, where you should be at that particular time. We had, learning to shoot rifles and how to survive.
Okay. How long was the basic training?
8 weeks.
8 weeks. Okay, and where did you go after that?
Fort Benning, Georgia. My second aid.
Second aid?
Yeah.
And what, would you go there for tech school or something?
Yeah, that's where you get your MOS, or what are you going to be doing basically in the Army.
And what was that?
Well, I was a radio operator and a Forward Service.
Radio operator in what?
Radio, just a radio operator.
Okay, all right. Okay. And that, you said that was another 8 weeks?
Yeah.
And how was it? You remember what was it like? Well, how was the food?
Cold. The food was okay.
It was cold?
Yeah, cold.
Okay. All right. How did you get along? How were your peers? What were the instructors like?
Well, I would say they were okay.
Okay.
They were okay. They were very knowledgeable about what they were doing and what they talked about.
Okay. So what did you do after that 8 weeks?
I went to my permanent
duty station?
Yeah, that was at Fort Campbell, Kentucky. The company B 187, so Airborne Division.
Okay. And what was your job there? Radio operator?
At Forward Service. I guess artillery.
Oh, artillery.
I was a forward observer.
Forward observer.
For 81 Morris, and 106 recorders rifles.
Tell me what your duties were. What did you do?
Well, you be in the field and you were calling artillery. You were assigned to a particular platoon, and whenever they needed artillery, like from 81 mortars or 106s or whatever it is, you would call in, the area where you wanted them to distract to be.
Okay. Okay, so were there any casualties in your unit?
No, this was, I guess you could say really peacetime.
Okay.
You know, we were on alert because at that particular time, the 101st Airborne Division was the number one strike force of the United States.
Okay, so let me see. Okay, did you live on base or off base?
On base.
Why did you pick that service branch?
Well, mainly, I wanted to go in the Navy, and during that time they had quarters, and I just come out of high school, and I knew I wasn't gonna hang in the streets. Just me, my mother, and my sister, and I was offered a scholarship to go to Bethune, but I knew my mother couldn't afford it, so I decided I would go into service and volunteer for the draft, knowing that if I didn't like the Army in 2 years, I wasn't gonna like it in 3.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So. Okay. Let's see. Was that the job that you did for the period of time that you were in the service? Is that the same job, or did you do various jobs?
I did. That's the job I did.
Okay.
I remember I was only there a short time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So what were the living conditions like?
Well, they were pretty good. I thought I was on the weekend. You had Tennessee State right there in Nashville, and Fitz University right there in Nashville, and I met people like William Rudolph and those people, and had a friend named Willie Ward, who was Wilma's first husband. And I would go to the college, and I had some kids that had gone to school with me, was going to Tennessee State University.
Okay. Were you going to school there?
No.
No, you didn't get to attend, huh?
No.
Uh-huh. So did you make a lot of friends?
Quite a few.
Oh, you did, huh? Have you stayed in touch with any of them over the years?
Well, no. No. I stay in touch with a lot of my classmates.
Right.
As far as guys that I met in service.
Uh-huh. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So what was it like being in the military at that time? And during that period of,
Well, during that particular time, it was still, wasn't segregated, but it was we just, at that time, you could still feel the tension, because when I got out and came back home, it was still integrated, but you could tell that was a different type of thing, because it was still segregated at home. In a certain place you couldn't go, or couldn't sleep. So those things, it was still prevalent. I was in 61 when I came back.
right.
And you know very well that Martin Luther King and that particular area of the 60s, there was a lot of civil disorder.
Right. Okay, so did you feel like did you experience any mistreatment in the military?
Not really. No.
Okay.
I couldn't very well say I did. No.
Okay. So you didn't see any combat at all?
No.
Or did you witness
No combat.
Did you witness any casualties at any time?
Not really, other than jumping, somebody get hurt. I got hurt myself jumping. So, other than that.
Oh, you got hurt yourself? You got hurt?
Yeah.
Take it easy.
Yeah, I tore my left leg and up and right leg.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. So you did sustain a injuries.
Yeah,
Okay. So you're on disability now, aren't you?
I am.
Okay. Okay. How did you get along with your? Well, again, I know I'm probably being a little redundant, but how did you get along with officers?
We got along pretty good.
Okay. Did you get to travel at all while you were in the service?
I went to Puerto Rico.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we went to Puerto Rico.
Besides places that you mentioned, where else did you get to travel?
Oh, that's the only place I went while I was in the army. You know, but you talking about since I've been out?
Well, we'll get to that.
Okay.
While you were in the military.
No, that's
Okay.
all.
How did you communicate with family while you were
Yes.
in the service?
Yes.
Okay. And how? By letter, phone?
Telephone.
Did you when you went on? Where did you go when you went home on leave? When you went on leave?
Well, mainly if I came home on leave, only came home a couple times. You know, I went to, you know, a game or something, you know, basketball, or football, or baseball game or something, you know, and up to the theater, you know, wasn't a hell of a lot, you know, to do in the black community at that particular time with it being segregated.
Right. All right. So, what how did you? So you were never a prisoner of war. We don't have to worry about any of that stuff.
No.
Okay. You were never part of any battle planning or anything like that.
No.
Okay. So, did that injury that you sustained, did that cause for you to separate early?
Well, yeah and no.
Okay.
I probably would have gotten out of the service.
Anyway.
Yeah, but I knew that I had an obligation at that time, so I just assumed, you know, do my time and get out, you know.
Okay.
At that time, they were sending people to Vietnam, and I wasn't really a fan of Vietnam.
Okay, so at any rate, say you were going to get out anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Were you able to use your GI Bill at all?
Yeah. I went to Palmer Junior College for maybe about 6 months. During that time, I was, you know, was being encouraged to go back to school.
Right.
But my mindset was not on the school. I was involved heavily in the civil rights movement at that particular time, in the late 60s.
Gotcha. Did you have plenty of supplies while you were in the military? You have everything you needed?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. Did you feel any pressure or stress?
Well, to be honest with you, no, because I've always never felt inferior to anyone. I never felt that I was more than anybody.
Okay.
But you know, those were things we're alike.
Okay. How did people entertain themselves, by the way?
Well, in service, yeah, you what the USO clubs, that type of stuff. But I made friends with people like Will Rudolph, Ralph Boston, Moon, different college guys at Tennessee State. Because, like I told you earlier, I had some people who I went to school with was going to Tennessee State. We were about 5 or 6 guys, and on the weekend, you know, when I had an opportunity, I would go over to Tennessee. Well, it's only about 50 miles from Fort Campbell where I was.
Oh, okay. All right.
Little Hopkinsville, Clarksville, you know, little towns around there.
Oh, so you traveled a lot there, huh? Got around.
Yeah, I got around different places, met people,
Okay.
you know.
Gotcha. Okay. Tell me a couple of the most memorable events that happened to you while you were in the service.
I guess really going to Puerto Rico, you know, and a lot of time being around college towns like, you know, like Nashville, Tennessee, you know, I mean, it was still segregation, you know, and, you know, I guess you could say water seeks its own level, you know. People tend to want to be with people who are like-minded.
Right.
Regardless whether it's integration or segregation.
Okay. All right. Did you keep a diary?
No.
Okay. All right. Okay.
It's a little chilly out there, is it? No.
Well, let me ask you a question. You recall the day that, you know, the final. What were you doing the last weeks when you know towards your service ending?
Well, I guess you do like most people, with short timing.
Right.
You count the days.
Okay. Okay. So when you got out, did you go to school then, or did you go back to work?
No, I got out and then I ended up. I took a trade in school of paint body work, and I started working in the paint, auto painting industry.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Go ahead.
When did you go to school after that?
I guess back in the late 60s.
So where were you going to junior college?
Palmer's Junior College.
And what were you studying?
Psychology.
Oh, okay. All right. But it didn't stick, huh?
No, my mind really was not on it.
Will you say you were involved in the civil rights movement?
Yeah, I had moved to Riviera Beach at that time. I was born in West Palm Beach, and my grandmother knows that I've been coming to Riviera since the 50s. In 1950, really, when they had the Veterans Project down there.
Had the what?
Veterans Project, but when I bought my home out here, it was still segregated. And the roads and the sanitation services were not well, and we had built out here, and the group of guys and I created what you call the Imperial Men Club, and that was mainly to keep our area up and have good garbage services and that type of stuff. But then it led from this our neighborhood to the whole city, and my involvement in that, with the schools being integrated at that time. I sat on the county biracial committee in 1970. So, you know, with just involvement quite a bit. And I was, you know, doing my involvement, then I was able to become the superintendent of sanitation.
Oh, okay.
I was the first black in the state of Florida to become superintendent of sanitation in the city of Riviera Beach. But I was also the second black ticket agent, sold tickets for Greyhound when I worked for Greyhound back in the 60s.
Right.
Also, so my involvement with people has been real, you know, extensive because of the fact of my involvement in the civil rights movement. You know, people like Leo Swag, Father Perkins, Dick Adams, those were real fine people. They were white, but you know, it wasn't about color. It was always about right and wrong, what was wrong and what's right. You know, other than that, I've been able to sit on the city council. I was appointed there back in 1999, '92.
Right.
You know, but other than that, I own my own restaurant, McCray's Barbecue, for many years. And my sons are doing that now. But other than that, hey, I'm a minister. I was called into the ministry in 1992, and I'm an assistant pastor at Greater Bethel Baptist Church in Riviera Beach.
Okay. Greater Bethel.
Primitive Baptist Church.
Greater Bethel what?
Primitive.
Primitive, gotcha. Okay.
Baptist.
Okay. You've been at a really full life there.
I have. I would say so.
Just wash the clothes.
I would agree.
Because they have
Did you make any close friendships while you were in the service?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Have you continued any of those relationships?
Not really. When I came out, we stayed pretty close, but people start going their own, doing their own things. So got away from. I had some friends in Miami. A guy named Duncan, one guy named Griffin. Duncan was a mailman for many years. Griffin worked for the Metro Dave Sheriff Department.
Right.
For many years. We managed to go down to Miami sometimes. We stayed in contact. Other than that, though, I have not seen them guys in years.
Right. Okay. Okay. Well, I got a few more questions for you.
Okay.
Do you belong to any veterans organizations?
No.
Okay. Okay. And
They've got several things to do.
did your military experience influence your thinking about war or about the military in general?
Things to do with the house.
I think that
And you asked me that last night.
it helps you to mature. It makes you,
And expect
give you self-esteem. It give you confidence. Because I think any kid, I would recommend college or the military to them because of the fact that you're young, you're growing up, you got to make decisions, you're on your own. Nobody's there to wake you up or tell you when to get up and not get up. Nobody's there to tell you how to spend your money, how to budget. Those things come by being, helping you to become mature.
that's in the past.
When you just spend all your money and you ain't got nothing for you, you learn very quickly to try to save a little bit of what you got.
This is true.
Hi, how are you? Fine.
Okay. All right. Well, next question is, have your services, did your service and experiences affect your life? How did the service affect your life?
Well, I think it was good because, as I just told you, that I think any kid should go to college or either go in the military because it helps them at that particular point in their life to become independent.
Right.
Not dependent because of the decisions that they make, good, bad, and different. They have to live with that. So it doesn't take but a couple of bad experiences for you to try to, learn what to do and what not to do.
Right.
So I think I even though I didn't stay in the military, I would encourage any kid
Yeah, let's go for a
to
walk.
go to college or there, because I think both of them are, will help you in life to be matured enough, to be strong or stable enough in your life that you know that you have to depend upon yourself.
Right. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay. Well, do you feel like I know there's a couple other things I want to ask you.
Okay, we're waiting for you.
But you say we stole trees.
You feel like you left anything out? First of all, out of the interview?
Not really, other than the fact that it's very difficult with my disability, being upgraded as far as my my pension had apathy, and the diabetes had nothing to do. I didn't get that in service, but I lost, the mobility of my leg very quick because they had to take the kneecap out and they took all the cartilage and stuff out, and that's the way it was. In my right leg, it's, I don't have full extension in either one of my legs. And one of the things that I'm going through now is with my neck. I was hit by a car. Either I ran into it, either way it happened in it. I'm having a lot of difficulty with my neck and arthritis. So I'll be going to a doctor, soon, in physical therapy with that. And I was always one that, if it didn't bother me, I wouldn't complain.
Right.
But I'm finding out now that I need the compensation and stuff, that it's not that easy to get. Because, I've been, my case has been, I guess, reprimanded or returned back to the room office several times. They've not denied it, but they have not, compensated me for it.
Okay.
So I guess that's one of the downfalls
Of
of this whole thing. Because I was told if you didn't file while you was in there, it's a lot difficult to try to get it when you get out. So that's where I am now. So it causes you to be depressed. Sometimes, thinking about, why, and they already got the records. Why would it, it's not like it didn't happen.
right.
But why would it take so long to make a decision, up or down situation? But I'm glad they have not made a decision not to do it. It's just that it's taking so long.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, that just about wraps it up. Is there anything else? Otherwise.
Well, I'm doing a book.
Oh.
Because I think the book is really finished. It's just a matter of my grandson, who's a graphic artist, and my son is a graphic artist. They're doing the cover for it. And people have told me, "Herman, you ought to write a book." Well, I never kept a diary, you asked me earlier.
Right.
Memoirs. I never decided to say, well, I'm going to do this today. It was always something, whatever happened, it was always an action to a reaction that we did. And the people that's involved in it, like I told them, I couldn't write it. You have to ask other people about what went on. And that's what the guy did. The guy named Steve White, who was writing, asked, people like Calloway and Rogers and people at that particular time, Bruce McDonald and Henry Taylor, people that was involved at that time, Bucky McMahon and those type people, what they thought, so they all have their comments in it. So I don't know if you can call it a biography or what. I really don't know, because it's what other people thought of me.
Right.
Yeah, so that's one of the way that is.
Okay. Well, it's still an autobiography, but it's also a testimony by other people included,
Yeah.
which is fine. That's good. I'd like to read that.
Yeah, it should be out shortly.
Get it published.
Yeah, it's been published.
Oh, okay, Herman.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I want to thank you very much for your service, and thank you for the interview also.
Well, thank you, Carson. You're part of this community. You weren't born with it. You're still a part of it. You've made your contribution.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you very much, Herman.
All right.
Shake your hand there.
All right. Okay.